Hi, hello my dear children. I hope you have just seen the video of half-yearly solved question paper of MCQ pattern from 1 to 20 questions, and today I am going to continue that question paper with the second part of the session. I hope you all solved this and you got to know about your clarity on which concept you have to recheck, which concept you have to study back, and how you are managing your time. Question number 21. 21 question हमें बोल रहा है कि the question is telling us if alpha and beta are the roots or the zeros of the polynomial f of x equal to, हमें f of x दिया गया है, f of x is 5x square minus 7x plus 1. 5x square minus 7x plus 1. I have to find the value of alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. So to find the value of alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. To get you more technically fit, this question depends on the chapter called as polynomial, the second chapter of CBSE NCERT textbook, and concept बहुत ही simple है. When an equation has a degree of 2, the variable present here is x and the power of x is 2. So दो roots होना चाहिए इसका, alpha and beta are the roots. Therefore, I am just taking the random LCM of what I have to find here. I have to find the value of alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. My LCM is alpha into beta. Here an alpha is missing, so I'll multiply the same on the above, so this gives me alpha square, plus here a beta is missing, so I'll multiply the same on the above, beta square. Now we all know that alpha plus beta the whole square is, this is a plus b the whole square, which is a square, b square and 2ab. Now I want this, so I'll shift 2 alpha beta to the other end. Therefore, alpha plus beta the whole square minus 2 alpha beta gives me alpha square plus beta square. Now if I have a quick check on the taken LCM part of the fraction, my numerator is alpha square plus beta square. So instead of that, I can replace it with alpha plus beta the whole square minus 2 alpha beta divided by alpha beta. Now I have got the complete set of fraction in the form of sum of roots and product of root. Using the given f of x, I can find what is my sum of root. So my sum of root, which is alpha plus beta, is always determined using negative b by a. So from the equation, b is negative 7, so negative of negative 7 by 5. So alpha plus beta is plus 7 by 5. When I go to alpha into beta, it is always equal to c by a. From the equation, c is 1, a is 5, so it is 1 by 5. I got alpha plus beta as 7 by 5 and alpha into beta as 1 by 5. I am randomly applying the same in the fraction that I have found. So alpha plus beta whole square is 7 by 5 the whole square minus 2 into 1 by 5 divided by 1 by 5 again. In the denominator also I have an alpha beta. So 7 square 49 divided by 25 minus 2 ones are 2 by 5 whole multiplied with this fraction will take a reciprocal here. This will be 5 by 1. I can't cancel this 5 and this 5 because I have a binomial subtraction in between. When I have a binomial subtraction, I cannot randomly cancel any component and I need to be very careful while doing it. Therefore, this becomes LCM is 25 into 1, so no changes, minus into 5, so 2 5s are 10, multiplied with 5 by 1. Now I can cancel this. Therefore, 49 minus 10 is 39 divided by 5 will be the answer for alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. So this is an important question. The more relative and the same type of question can be asked. F of x can be given to you people and they can ask you some important questions like, I am just writing it here inside the box. They can ask you question related to find the value of alpha per negative 1, beta per negative 1. They can ask you the question related to alpha square beta plus beta square alpha. Third one, alpha beta by beta alpha into alpha cube plus beta cube. This is also a question that is normally asked. So these are the questions you have to be aware of with respect to this 21st question. So when we are just taking the LCM, I need to be careful here, as well as finding sum of root and product of root is the main task of the complete question. Let us look into the second or the 22nd question. What is 22nd question? Letting us to know and what we have to solve in it. The 22nd question here is giving me a quadratic equation. 22nd question is provided with a quadratic equation called as p square x square plus p square minus q square into x minus q square equal to 0. I have to solve for x. Clearly looking at the question, I am able to see that this question belongs to quadratic equation and they are telling us to use the quadratic formula. In the question paper, it is clearly mentioned, use quadratic formula to solve for x. What is quadratic formula? Quadratic formula says x can be found using minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. X can be found using minus b plus or minus, so a is coefficient of x square which is p square, b is coefficient of x which is p square minus q square, and c is just the constant which is negative q square. First, I'll be interested in finding discriminant here. So discriminant is always equal to b square minus 4ac. Hence, b is p square minus q square the whole square minus 4 into a is p square and q is c is negative q square. Now, p square minus q square the whole square, negative into negative is positive 4p square q square. When I am expanding this, this is of the format a minus b the whole square. So it is a square plus b square minus 2ab plus 4p square q square as it is. Plus 4q square p square as it is. Now when I am taking this p square, I am writing p square the whole square as it is, q square the whole square as it is, and look at this, when I have minus 2p square q square plus 4. So this is giving me plus 2p square q square. Plus 2p square q square is coming up here, and now if I look, this is of the form a square plus b square plus 2ab, which is equal to a plus b the whole square. So I can write here p square plus q square the whole square. So my discriminant is now equal to p square plus q square the whole square. Once I computed this, I'll go back to the quadratic formula here. My quadratic formula said minus b. What was b? b is negative of p square minus q square plus root of p square plus q square the whole square divided by 2 into a is p square again. So I am opening up the bracket, negative p square plus q square. I can see root and square will get cancelled. So I have plus p square plus q square divided by 2p square. So my negative p square and positive p squares are gone. 2q square by 2p square, 2 gone. So my first x value is q square by p square. So when I got the first positive x value, I took minus b, plus or minus is the formula, I took plus here. When I am taking negative, let us see what is happening. So x can also be equal to minus b minus root d by 2a. What was b? Negative p square minus q square. What is d? Root of p square plus q square the whole square divided by 2 into p square again. 2p square is my a. Therefore, when I open up the bracket, negative p square, positive q square, root and squares are gone, negative p square and negative q square divided by 2p square. So here positive and negatives are gone. I will have negative 2p square divided by 2p square. So my answer is negative 1. Since it was a quadratic equation, I have to get two important roots. Therefore, my first root is x is equal to q square by p square, and the second root is negative 1. I'll put it in a box to conclude the answer properly. It's a very important 3-mark question which is always been asked, and a random question which students fail to answer. So pause the video for a while and look into the solution that is being done. From the beginning, if we have to check, the solution starts with here. We will first find the discriminant. After finding the discriminant, I am going to substitute the discriminant value in the quadratic formula, and then I will substitute the formula with respect to positive d and negative d and find the two roots that are required for me. An important question, please mark it important as well as pause it again, recheck, rewind it. If you are not getting, comment below. I'll come up with more such type of questions to make you understand and feel better. Moving on to the 23rd question. Let us see what is there in the 23rd question. 23rd question is based on a chapter called as probability. It says that a bag contains 5 red balls and some blue balls. If the probability of drawing a blue ball from the bag is thrice the probability of red ball. So we have a bag. Let us just imagine that this is the bag. In this bag there are 5 red balls, and I don't know how many blue balls are there, so I'll put a dash for the blue balls. I don't know how many blue balls are there. So they are telling if the probability of drawing a blue ball from the bag, the probability of blue ball from the bag is equal to thrice the probability of red ball. So probability of blue is equal to 3 times probability of red. Find the number of blue bags and the total number of balls in the bag. So probability of an event is always equal to number of outcomes by total outcomes. Number of outcomes by total outcomes. So if I want to find the probability of red balls, it is the number of red balls that I have, that is 5, divided by total number of balls. I'll take, let the blue balls be, let the blue balls, number of blue balls be x. So if I'm taking the number of blue balls as x, the total number of balls with me will be x plus 5. So probability of getting a red ball will be 5 by x plus 5. In a similar manner, probability of getting a blue ball will be number of blue balls, that is x, divided by total number of balls, that is x plus 5. Now framing this in this equation, probability of blue is equal to thrice probability of red. Probability of blue was x by x plus 5 is equal to 3 times 5 by x plus 5. So I can easily cancel the denominators here. So x will be directly equal to 15. Therefore, the blue balls that are present with me is 15 here, and randomly total number of balls will be x plus 5, blue plus red. So blue is 15 and red is 5. Therefore, I have 20 balls present in the bag. Total number of balls will be 20 and the blue balls we are getting it as 15. So it's a random question in which the chances and the outcomes are taken in two different aspects. Given it in the form of an equation, this is more important. Probability of getting a blue ball is thrice the probability of getting a red ball. That I have to catch that point and then analyze it. See, my dear children, there are many chances that idol who is important for you in your life, like your father, like your mother, brother, sister, or your friend, or a personality, if you follow them, you will be able to ace in studies. There are many people who can influence us. There are many things that can influence us. But apart from that, at this point of time, what is more important for you? What is more relevant for you? You have to think and decide. So when we are just doing something very important, don't divert, don't think of anything else. Think that this is your final chance, this is your time where you have to spend only for studying. Apart from that, nothing else is more important in your life, and just go ahead. Okay, now moving on to the or part of the question here. The probability, this I think it is 23rd question. Let us see the or part of the 23rd question. A bag, again the question is based on probability chapter. A bag contains 15 balls, out of which some are white and the other are black. Two types of balls are there, one is white and the other is black. If the probability of drawing a black ball, they are telling probability of drawing a black ball at random is 2 by 3. They have given the probability of the black ball, drawing a black ball. Find how many white balls are there in the bag. According to the chapter and the concept, we have to know this, that probability of any event happening, probability of an event happening is always equal to 1 minus probability of an event not happening. Correct? So when I have probability of white ball, this will always be 1 minus the probability of drawing a black ball. Therefore, I can write 1 minus 2 by 3, which is randomly 3 here, sorry, 1 here, 1 3s are 3 minus 2. Therefore, the probability of drawing a white ball is 1 by 3. This is the important point that I have to remember. Probability of an event happening is 1 minus the probability of an event not happening. Because probability can never be greater than 1. Any probability can never be greater than 1. You have to keep that in mind and further move on. For this type of questions based on probability, based on arithmetic progression, based on polynomials, we cannot spend more than 3 minutes out of the whole question paper. That too, if the marking scheme is only for 3 marks, 3 minutes is enough to solve the question if your concepts are clear and you have practiced enough at home. So let us move on without wasting more time on it. Going to the 24th question again. 24th question is a question based on triangles as the figure is specified here. In the given figure, DA is parallel to AC and DF is parallel to AE. Prove that. I have to prove BF by FE is equal to BE by EC. If you can clearly see the picture, this is a picture which is based on NCERT textbook triangles chapter, and BPT or Thales theorem concept is provided here. There are two important given concept, that is DA is parallel to AC and DF is parallel to AE. When I know that this figure is randomly given and two important parallel lines are specified, I would like you people to bifurcate the figure. What is meant by bifurcation? I will view the geometrical figure in such a manner that it makes my work simple and easier. First, I will take DE is parallel to AC. When DE is parallel to AC, the figure looks like this, somewhat like this. This is B, this is E. DE parallel to AC. DE is parallel to AC. This is my single vertex. Two lines are parallel. The Thales theorem says that if two lines are parallel to each other, then the non-parallel sides are divided in particular ratio. So I can say here that BE by EC is now equal to BD by DA. I'll start from this vertex. This side by this side is equal to this side by this side. BE by EC, BD by DA. This is my equation 1. Now I'll choose the second given parallelism. DF is parallel to AC. And again draw the figure randomly. When DF is parallel to AC, this is my figure. This is B, D, F and AC. Now DF is parallel to AC. Again, B is my single vertex and these are the two parallel lines. Non-parallel lines can be divided in the same ratio. So I can write the ratio as BF by FC is now again equal to BD by DA. I'll consider this as my second equation. When I compare the two equations here, I can say that the RHS of both the equations are same. Randomly, the LHS of the equation should also be equal, which implies BF by FC is now equal to BE by EC. This is what I had to prove. I will put it in a block and say hence proved. When I am doing this type of proving questions based on geometrical figures, the diagram has to be specified very neatly. The reason why we have taken the ratios has to be mentioned in a bracket, not like using BPT theorem. You have to write the complete statement which is allocated with certain marking schemes. So when we know the question randomly given from a textbook, the questions are simple, easier. Try to work out in an easier manner, quicker manner and comfortable zone. Because you should be allocated with some amount of time necessary for the questions which are not known, which you don't know, which you have to think a lot. And for that you have to keep at least 20 minutes of span where you can calmly think and do it on your own. So this was a question of 24th one based on triangles chapter. Let us see the next question, what is there, and try to figure it out at the earliest. This question is again, yes, 25th one. We are provided with a question like, find the coordinates of the point P on the line segment joining A1, 2, B6, 7 such that AP is equal to 2/5 of AB. Looking at the question, identification of the chapter and the formulas are very important. When I see the question, yes, it is known to me that the question is based on coordinate geometry. What are the given components? I have a line segment. This is my line segment AB. The coordinates of A are 1, 2. The coordinates of B are 6, 7. And the ratio of division is given. There is a point P here. They have told that AP is equal to 2/5 of AB, 2/5 of AB. I'll take this AB to the other end. AP by AB is now equal to 2/5. That means, what do I mean by this statement given or this fraction given? The complete line segment has 5 parts. Out of that, AP covers 2 parts. That means the remaining PB will be of the ratio 3. The chances of mistake committing by you people are high here. You will take the ratio as 2:5, which is absolutely wrong. You can't do that. So I have to take the ratio as 2:3 because complete AB line segment is having 5 divisions. That we have to keep it in mind. After finding the ratios, this is allocated with M1, this is M2. The coordinates of P which I have to find is x, y. I have to find the coordinates of P from the question. Reading it again. So from the points A becomes x1, y1. The points B becomes x2, y2. And this concept is based on section formula. What is section formula telling me? If I want to find the coordinate of x, the formula is m1 x2 plus m2 x1 divided by m1 plus m2. So what is m1 here? 2. x2 is 6. m2 is 3. x1 is 1 divided by 2 plus 3. So this is 12 plus 3 by 5. 15 by 5. So my x coordinate is 3. Similarly, finding y, the formula is m1 y2 plus m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2. So my m1 is 2, y2 is 7, m2 is 3 and y1 is 2 divided by 2 plus 3, which is 14 plus 6 by 5, 20 by 5, giving me 4. Therefore, at the end I will conclude the answer as x comma y is equal to 3 comma 4. The point P is x comma y, and I'll put it in a block like this. So importance of each concept, as well as if a negative sign is specified in the position of x1, y1 or x2, y2, computation with respect to integers is the focus point, as well as formulas that you have to memorize. Coordinate geometry is an easy chapter. Randomly understanding it and making use of the given component from the question, you have to make yourself comfortable here. Then we have just completed section B with the 25th question, looking at the question paper here and moving on to section C. In section C, the questions are based on 3 marks. 3 to 4 marks is the marks evaluations done here, as well as the concepts are elaborated. The timing required for completing section C is nearly 35 to 40 minutes. 35 to 40 minutes if you take and complete it, you will be able to reach the case study part of the question in no time. And you will be left with half an hour to recheck your answers as well. Or section C with question number 26 without wasting any amount of time. The 26th question is asking us to prove root 3 is an irrational number. As we all know, irrational proving is a random question. One in each paper will be pakka going to come. It can be proving root 3 as irrational, root 2 as irrational, 3 plus root 5 as irrational, or root 3 plus root 7 as irrational, like that. In this question paper, we are asked to find or prove root 3 as irrational. Whenever they are asking us to prove root 3 as irrational, the method involves, I'll take a contradictory statement. What is a contradiction? Contradictory statement. That means I have to take a statement which is exactly ulta of what I have to find. If they are asking me to find root 3 as irrational, I will first say that root 3 is rational. So let us consider root 3 as rational. We all know that if root 3 is rational, then it has to be written in the format of P by Q or A by B. So I am writing, therefore, root 3 is now equal to A by B, where I will consider A and B are co-prime. This is the most important highlight. A and B should always be co-prime. What is meant by co-prime? Taking an example, if 2 and 3 I am considering, the products of 2 are, the two factors of 2 are 2 and 1. The factors of 3 are 3 and 1. So co-prime numbers are those numbers which has only 1 as a common factor, nothing more than that. So if I am considering A and B as co-prime, that means in A tables I should only have A and 1 as the factors. In B tables I should have only B and 1 as the factors. Therefore, when I took root 3 as a rational number, I can write it in A by B format. Now I am taking or squaring on both the sides. Squaring it, root 3 the whole square is now equal to A by B the whole square. So root 3 square is 3 equal to A square by B square. Hence I am taking B square here. 3B square equal to A square, or I can write B square to be equal to A square by 3. When I am writing of this sort, which implies 3 divides A square. Therefore, 3 can even divide A. What is the exact meaning of this? 3 divides A square means if I have a number called 27, when I am dividing it with 3, I am getting 9. Obviously, when I have a number called equal 9, when I am dividing it with 3, I get a number again which is a product of 3 itself. So when a square can be divided by 3, obviously the base number can also be divided by the same number. This is the exact meaning of 3 divides a square as well as 3 divides a. I am taking this equation 3b square equal to a square as my equation 1. Now since 3 is dividing both a square and a, I am considering let a be equal to some other integer called as 3c. A be equal to some other integer which is again a product of 3 called as 3c. Squaring on both the sides, a square is now equal to 3c the whole square. Therefore, a square is equal to 9c square. But what was a square actually equal to? From the equation 1, it is 3b square. 3b square is now equal to 9c square. 3 ones are 3 3s are, implies b square equal to 3c square. Or I can write b square divided by 3 equal to c square. When I am writing b square divided by c, what do I exactly mean? See, I wrote a square by 3, I meant 3 divides a square, 3 divides a. What do I mean by b square divided by 3? 3 divides b square, implies 3 can divide b also. But what was our contradiction? Look at the contradiction here. What was the contradiction? A and b should be co-prime. That means apart from 1, there should be no other common factor apart in both the given integers. But here we are getting a contradictory statement that 3 is a number which is dividing a also. 3 is a number which is dividing b also. Therefore, my own contradiction which I took root 3 as rational is a false. And hence we can say, write the conclusion very neatly properly. This implies 3 is dividing a as well as 3 divides b. Implies a and b are not co-prime. Therefore, root 3 cannot be equal to a by b. Implies root 3 is irrational. This is a simple proof that you have to learn, which will gain you with 3 marks in your board paper. The next question is second question. 22nd question is asking us find the zeros of the polynomial 4 root 3x square plus 5x minus 2 root 3 and verify the relationship between the zeros. Chapter is polynomials. Concept to be covered: sum of zeros, product of zeros. When a rooted question is there, factorization using splitting the middle term is a good technique to adopt. So general form of any polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. Easily we can make out that a is 4 root 3, sorry, a is 4 root 3 and b is 5 and c is negative 2 root 3. Now, when I have to split the middle term here, I have to first multiply a and c. Multiply a into c. A is 4 root 3 into c is negative 2 root 3. When I multiply root 3 into root 3 is giving me 3 and 4 2s is 8, negative 8. So, negative 8 into 3 is negative 24. Now, I have to split negative 24 in such a manner that I am getting 5 in between. So, negative 24 has a product of 2 12s are, 3 8s are. When I consider this as pairs, I am able to see the second pair. Plus 8 and minus 3 can give me plus 5, which is my middle term. So how do I write it? The second step to write it is, I'll write this first term as it is 4 root 3x square. The last term as it is, which is negative 2 root 3. And I will write this pair minus 3 and plus 8 in the mediocre way. Minus 8 plus 8x minus 3x, which is giving me plus 5x. Now when I split this, see, I can write this as 4 root 3 into x into x. This is 4 into 2 into x minus root 3 into root 3 into x minus 2 root 3. What have I done? I have splitted root 3 as root 3 into root 3, 8 as 4 2s are, and 4 root 3 x square as x into x. Now I'll consider this as one term and this as one term. In both these terms I have 4 and x common, 4 and x common. I'll take it out. Root 3x retains with a positive 1 minus, in both these terms I have root 3 and root 3 common. So here root 3x plus 2 is common, 2 is left out, not 1. And when I consider these two terms, I have root 3 common. When I take root 3, I am again left with root 3x plus 2. Why did I write a plus 2 here? Because minus into plus is negative. Negative into positive is negative, which is randomly the same. Whatever you get in the first bracket, you have to get it in the second bracket. That is the most important thing what you have to understand. So when I take root 3x plus 2 common, I am left with 4x minus root 3. You can write this one and this one. So my roots are x is equal to negative 2 by root 3 and x is equal to root 3 by 4 when these two are equated to 0. When I equate this to 0, negative 2 by root 3. When I equate this to 0, root 3 by 4. So I'll consider this as my alpha, this as my beta. When I am finding the roots, I have to verify the roots also. For verifying the roots, I have to use sum of roots, product of root formula. I'll write the equation again. My equation was 4 root 3x square plus 5x minus 2 root 3. From this, as we all know, A is 4 root 3, B is 5, C is negative 2 root 3. So my sum of root, which is alpha plus beta, which is from the factored terms negative 2 by root 3 plus root 3 by 4. So I'm getting, I'll take the LCM here, which is 4 root 3. Here 4 is missing, so 4 2s are negative 8. Here root 3 is missing, so root 3 into root 3 is 3. Hence I'm getting negative 5 by 4 root 3. This is my sum of roots. When I have to find the LHS of sum of roots, the formula is minus b by a. From the equation, minus b is 5 and a is 4 root 3. So I can make out that this and this are absolutely similar and equal. Therefore, sum of roots is verified. Sum of roots is verified. Same way I have to even verify the product of roots. When I am verifying the product of root, my product of root formula is alpha into beta, which is equal to c by a. What is alpha? Alpha is negative 2 by root 3 and beta is root 3 by 4. When I am doing this, this and this are getting cancelled. 1s are 2s are, so I am getting alpha into beta is negative 1 by 2. Same way, C by A, C is negative 2 by root 3 and A is 4 root 3. Root 3 gone, 1s are 2s are, so it is negative 1 by 2. Randomly these two things are equal, implies my product of root is also verified. When I have found the roots, the splitting component is similar, is randomly done in a proper manner. The verification is very simple. Concentrate on the splitting with many such type of questions. You will get the confidence in better way. Moving on to the next question, which is telling me find the quadratic polynomial whose sum of zeros, sum of roots. Sum of zeros means sum of roots. Sum of roots are root 2 and product of roots is negative 12. I have to find a quadratic polynomial. To frame a quadratic polynomial, I need to know the formula, that is x square minus sum of root into x plus product of root equal to 0. This is my formula that I have to use here. So this is x square minus sum of root, they have given it as root 2x plus product of root is negative 12 equal to 0. Opening up the bracket, x square minus root 2x, positive into negative is negative 12 equal to 0. This will be my answer. Comparing the two questions of our part is easier rather than the previous one. So you check which one you have the confidence and attempt that question. so that you're not going wrong or so that you're not losing any more marks in the same. Moving on, again 28th question is given us with probability chapter. So if I look at the question paper, the weightage of probability coordinate geometry is high. So make sure students, it's an easy chapter, you are not leaving those chapters and concentrating on the concepts there. Probability is a very random and easy chapter. It is practical based chapter. So moving to the 28th question, let us see what to be done. 3 different coins are tossed together. 3 different coins are there. They are tossing the coin. So what can be the sample space of the coin? Let us just check. Sample space of 3 different coins tossed together can be, first it can be all 3 head can be the outcome, 2 heads and 1 tail, 1 head and 2 tails, all 3 tails, 1 tail, head and tail, 2 tails and 1 head, then head, tail and head, then we are left with tail, head, head. So these are the 8 different possibilities of the outcomes when 3 coins are tossed together. Now let us go back to the question and check what is needed. Find the probability of getting A, exactly 2 heads. They are concentrating on exactly 2 heads. So out of this, exactly 2 heads I am getting in this position, HHT and HTH, THH. So 3 possibilities are there. So probability of getting exactly 2 heads is 3 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the total number of outcome. Out of that, 3 chances of exactly 2 heads. Therefore, 3 by 8 is the probability of getting 2 exact heads. At least 2 heads. In the B part, they are asking us for at least 2 heads. At least 2 means 1 can also be there, but 3 cannot be there. So at least 2 heads, the chances are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probability of getting at least 2 heads will be 6 by 8. I can simplify it to 3 by 4. C part of the question, at most 2 tail. At most means I have to have 2 tails. However, hook or crook, 2 tails should be there. So in this set of probability or the sample space, 2 heads are coming up in HTT, 2 heads are coming up with TTT, THT, TTH, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So probability of getting at most 2 tail will be 4 by 8, that is 1 by 2. In this question, we have to focus on finding out the sample space when 3 coins are tossed. That is the most important task. I hope this question is simple, easier, and you are able to identify your loopholes here. Moving on to 29th question. 29th question is asking us, there's a person called Vijay. Vijay has some chocolates and he divided them into 2 lots A and B. So he is having some random number of chocolates and he has divided into 2 slots A and B. He sold the first lot at the rate of ₹2 for 3 chocolates. Okay. And the second lot at ₹1 per chocolate and gave the total as 400. Okay. This question, if I am reading, the students might get confused as well as panicked because the question has 2 to 3 ways of solving, and according to the half yearly portions, this question will be based on, the solution will be based on linear equation in 2 variables. So I will consider, let the number of chocolates or the rate, the total rate of the chocolate be X and the number of chocolates sold be Y. Therefore, I can say that If he is taking X number of chocolates and 2 rupees for one chocolate, 2x by 3 plus y will give me 400. Why? Because 2/3 of the 2 rupees for 3 chocolates and 1 per chocolate. So 2/3 of 1 chocolate added with 1 chocolate gives me 400. In a similar manner, if I am taking LCM here, this is giving me 3. 2x plus 3y equal to 400. So 2x plus 3y is giving me 1200. This is my first equation. In the second part of the question, they are telling if they sold the first lot for 1. So I will take x plus the second lot for rupees 4 for 5 chocolates, 4x by 5, I am getting 460. Taking LCM again, this is 5x plus 4y is equal to 460. Taking 5 up, 5x plus 4y is equal to 230, 2300. This is my second equation. I got two equations. Now I can solve this using elimination method or substitution method. It is left to me. I will be interested in elimination method. So I will multiply the first equation with 5, the second equation with 2. So my first equation is turning to 10x plus 15y is equal to 6000. My second equation is turning to 10x plus 8y is equal to 4600. When I am changing the sign, as I have to subtract here, when I am changing the sign, 10x is gone, 15 minus 8 is giving me 7y is equal to 1400. So y will be equal to 1400 divided by 7 is giving me 200. When I got the value of y as 200, I'll substitute it here. 5x plus 4y equal to 2300. So 5x plus 4 into 200 is equal to 2300. So 5x plus 800 equal to 2300. This gives me 5x equal to 2300 minus 800. 5x is 1500 and x will be 1500 by 5, which is 300. So I got the value of x as 300, y as 200. They are asking me to find the total number of chocolates. So total is x plus y, which is 200 plus 300, that is 500. I have Vijay is having 500 chocolates with him. And he is able to split the chocolates into two different lots. In the first lot A, I am getting 300 chocolates. In the second lot B, I am getting 200 chocolates. Will be the conclusion of the complete answer here. So when an equation or a question is given randomly based on a typical question like this, if you are unable to solve it, you please mark the question number. Make sure that you are left out with certain duration of time to solve these kinds of questions. 5 to 6 question papers that will be solved before your half yearly to give you the complete analysis of your confidence, concept clarity, as well as building up competency among yourself. So this is the 29th question, a tough question and a beautiful question which you have to analyze. Do it twice or thrice before attempting it. Going to the 30th one, the 30th question is, if the point P x comma y is equidistant from the point A 5 comma 1 and B negative 1 comma 5, prove that 3x equal to 2y. Randomly what we have to prove, that is given. The question is based on coordinate geometry and the concept to be understood is distance formula. Let us draw a figurative representation of this question. So there is a line segment called as AB. This is my line segment AB where the coordinates are 5 comma 1 and B is negative 1 comma 5. I am given with two different coordinates and there is a random point P x comma y here. And I have to make sure that the P is equidistant. P x comma y is equidistant with A and B. That means, which implies PA will be equal to PB. I have to prove that 3x is equal to 2y. When PA is equal to PB, obviously the distance formula of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square will always be equal to root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. As we all know, distance formula is, when I have rooted numbers on both the sides, I can cancel the roots. Now let us apply what is x2 and x1 on PA part and what is x2 and x1 on PB part. So I will consider the point P to be the second abbreviation. So this will be x minus 5 the whole square plus y minus 1 the whole square. Considering this part which is PB, so this will be x minus of minus 1, that is plus 1 the whole square plus y minus 5 the whole square. Now all are having squares, I can expand it according to a plus b and a minus b the whole square, which is turning up to x square minus 2 into x into 5 plus 5 square plus y square minus 2 into y into 1 plus 1 square. Again x square plus 2 into x into 1 plus 1 square plus y square minus 2 into 5 into y plus y square. No, plus 5 square here. I should write 5 square plus 5 square. Now on both the sides, the LHS and RHS, I have x square getting cancelled, y square and y square getting cancelled. I am left out with, I also have a 5 square and 5 square getting cancelled, as well as 1 square, 1 square. All the things are getting cancelled here. So I am left with minus 10x minus 2y. I am left with this, and here equal to this and this. 2x minus 10y. I'll shift it to one corner. Minus 10x plus 2x. So minus 10x minus 2x equal to minus 10y minus or plus 2y. So here negative 10x and negative 2x is giving me negative 12x is equal to positive 10y plus and negative 10y and positive 2y is giving me negative 8y. Negatives are gone. I can write this as 4 3s and 4 2s. So 3x is randomly equal to 2y. This is what I had to prove. Hence, in an equation or a question, what was given to me, I was provided with a line segment AB and the coordinates of the line segment with equality. That is, P is the midpoint. I will take distance formula here with coordinates as x and y, randomly solving it, and here I have to apply a minus b the whole square and a plus b the whole square accordingly. Many things are getting cancelled over the LHS and RHS. The leftover part, if simplified, I am getting it equal to the proof that is required in the question. The first question is telling us two right triangles ABC and DBC are on the same hypotenuse BC and on the same side of BC. I have two right triangles. So BC is the common hypotenuse. So this is my first right triangle ABC and this will be my second right triangle DBC. See, if you look, they both have a common hypotenuse called as BC. This is a right triangle, this is a right triangle. Now, I have to prove that AP into PC is equal to BP into PD. I can write this as the point of intersection of A and B is at P, given in the question. So, when these types of triangle questions are given and I have to prove the ratios are equal, first I have to take two different triangles out of it and prove that they are similar. So what am I doing? I am taking, let in triangle BAP and triangle CDP, that is this triangle and this Chotu triangle. We know that angle A is equal to angle D, that is equal to 90 degree. This is giving me an angle. And since P is the point of intersection, I can say angle 1 is equal to angle 2 marked in the figure. They are vertically opposite angles, giving me another angle. Therefore, by AA similarity criterion, these two triangles are similar. I can write triangle BAP is now similar to triangle CDP. Hence, when the triangles are similar, I can easily take their sides. I can take BP divided by one side of this triangle divided by the other side of this triangle, that is BP by PC is equal to other side of the first triangle divided by the other side of the second triangle, that is AP divided by DP. So cross multiplying, I am getting BP into DP is equal to AP into PC. This is what I had to prove. In this question, what is more important? First, the figure is not given. The figure has a common hypotenuse called as BC. So framing up the figure is a big task in this question. A very good question actually. And once the figure is computed, drawn by our end, again, if you don't prove the similarity and just write the ratios, you will not get marks. You have to write the similarity criterion and then only compute the following. Therefore, keep yourself informed about framing figures only when questions are provided in triangles, because triangles is a big chapter covering 12 marks of your complete board paper. And it's a normal chapter which confuses a lot, so make sure you are practicing it in a better way. So I'm going to the 31st question with OR part, so that I am able to complete the section C and move on to section D in my next session. So the 31st OR part is telling me, prove that the ratios of the ratios of perimeter of two similar triangles in the same as the ratio of their corresponding sides. I have two triangles given to me. This is ABC, this is D, E and F. It is already specified the two triangles are similar. See, the ratios of perimeter of two similar triangles. The triangles are already similar. What is a perimeter? A perimeter is sum of three sides of the given figure. Here I have a triangle, so I have three sides. I am adding up the sides. Perimeter of triangle ABC will be AB plus BC plus CA. Similar way, perimeter of triangle DEF will be DE plus EF plus FD. I am considering this as 1, this as 2. Now since the triangles are similar here, I can take the ratios as AB by DE to be equal to BC by EF to be equal to AC by DF. These are the ratios. Now what am I doing? I am adding all these. When I add this, AB plus BC plus AC divided by DE plus EF plus DF. This is nothing but my equation 1, which is perimeter of triangle ABC divided by the denominator is nothing but my equation 2, which is perimeter of triangle DEF. Therefore, as asked in the question, the ratio of the corresponding perimeter sides, the ratio of the sides and the sum of the perimeters are absolutely equal here. Hence, when I take the similarity component, write the ratios properly and add it, I am done with the question what I had to prove here. The sum of the perimeters is randomly equal to the ratios. So I took the ratios, made it equal to the sum of the perimeters. Hence, the question is proved. So this was section C, which had 11 questions with 2 or 3 or part of the question as well, which I have covered in the complete session. I hope you all have understood the complete session, and you will not forget to press the bell icon so that when I am uploading new videos on these type of question papers, you will be able to do it in no time. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon in my next video.